Alright, let's just get right back into it. So what are we doing here? They're on him, he's getting careless. So yeah, like I mentioned last episode, occasionally you gotta bail out your homies, which is no big deal. Oh yeah, that flipping move, you can deflect bullets. That's real handy at times. Makes that neat sound effect too when it does. I'd try imitating it with my mouth, but it wouldn't do any justice. I would imagine we're probably still pretty far from the boss of this one. See if I can get all 4 of these guys at once. Nope. Although I did like how the bullet tracked him like that. Barrel roll's super important in that tunnel back there.
I guess it's your turn to be thankful.
What's that supposed to mean? He didn't even do anything. Or if he did, I didn't see it. Usually 2 of those don't spawn. Very strange.
You want a piece of me?
What other Star Fox games have I played over the years? I really liked Star Fox Command for the original DS. It was tough though. I mean, you got used to it. But overall, it was a solid experience. I already knew how to do that. Okay, here's the part. Okay, you can skip like 80% of the game if you can get the sequence right, where you have to fly through each of the things, but I screwed it up. Unfortunately, I've never actually been able to pull that off, so I don't know where it goes. I just know it warps you to some point later on in the game. I might have been able to figure it out in the 3DS remake, actually, now that I think about it. So I remember just being in the car, in the back of the car. I wasn't driving. Just, you know, in the back of a car with the 3DS version. I remember it going, after being able to successfully complete the warp sequence, it sent me to someplace green, and I think I made it all the way to the final boss. Or maybe I'm just getting confused. Okay, so here is the second boss. He sounds fancy, so you know he's a bad guy. Thankfully he's got a super obvious glowing weak point shaped like an arrow that we can get. Classic video games always did that sort of thing. It was even acknowledged in an issue of Game Informer, because they'd have their usual monthly art contests, and the caption said like, "Good luck finding an obvious glowing weak point on this one." Can't remember what it was a picture of though. There was some weird art that people sent in over the years. There was one where it was like Solid Snake, and he was in the world of Animal Crossing, and he had kidnapped some kind of blue cat animal. He would like eating his guts out, and he was hiding behind a tree, and the other Animal Crossing characters were wondering where the blue cat went, and how do you even figure that out?
I admit.
So in this particular spot, if we didn't have Slippy, it wouldn't be as obvious that he's trying to fake us out, because you can just see his health bar's still got half left. If we didn't have Slippy to provide us the health bar, might have let our guard down. That pink stuff's tricky to dodge. I can't believe I lost to this scum! It synced up almost perfectly.
But I'm in a hurry.
I remember about 40% of the dialogue in this. Memorable than most video game dialogue. Especially RPGs where most of the dialogue's just forgettable crap. Newer RPGs aren't so bad, but on the whole, like Octopath Traveler, I think it was, the dialogue in that looked really bad. More like a traditional RPG type. I'm not making any sense. It reminded me more of a traditional RPG in terms of dialogue because it was very stilted. Reminded me of the type of RPG that, you know, came from the olden days when, you know, it would come from Japan and it would have to be translated. And as a result, the translators didn't always do a very good job. It wouldn't be entertaining to read. Yeah, that's what Octopath Traveler is like. Okay, next up we get to see the introduction of Star Wolf. His first appearance in the series.
Roger, General.
And then he's got his cronies. There's Leon from Resident Evil.
Split up and
There's Andrew Cuomo, and there's the Pigman. I think it was Star Fox Assault for the GameCube, where the pig character comes back and he's some kind of floating cube in space for some reason. What was that about?
time for a little
I gotta replay that one someday. So the bad guys don't actually show up for a while in this one. This is essentially just a training level where they're teaching you how to target small targets, how to shoot small targets in all range mode, because you're gonna have to do that more intensely once they show up. So they just throw these harmless enemies at you to get you, so you can get a feel of how to do it.
I've got you now.
So yeah, lock-on mechanics essential.
Hey, quit.
Once the bad guys actually did show up, I could never seem to actually lock onto
Hey,
them.
he was
I don't know what that was about. See, the thing is, as a kid I could breeze through this level easily, but as you'll see soon enough, that wasn't the case for today. Maybe I'm just a little rusty. Who knows? Maybe I'm just Rusty's Real Deal Baseball. Did anybody ever actually play that one? I didn't.
Take care of the guy behind me.
Why are you coming out of the base?
Here he comes, he's gonna say the thing. Oh, wait, no, not that.
At the base. Jeez.
There was another transmission right before that. Oh, here it comes. Can't let you do that, Star Fox. Andros has ordered us to take you down. Peppy, long time no see.
Go see.
Andros' enemy is my enemy. It's gonna act like a sync test in a way,
Just what I
and I have to
need.
sync this audio
Star
up.
Wolf. Let's take care of these guys first.
Alright, so yeah, I'm just telling you in advance, I completely screwed up this mission. But in the case of this game, that's not too big of a deal, because with this level, if you die, they don't just make you do it over, but instead the story branches out to a different set of levels.
Great Android.
So, and I don't think one particular ending's better than another. So yeah, so we just ended up going to a different level. Well, we don't, because I just quit the playthrough after this level. Because 2 episodes was enough. There's only so much you can say. So as long as we're on this level with Star Wolf, excuse me, I just want to say that Wolf's inclusion in Smash was very underwhelming. It's just another clone. Because people on Smash boards were excited for him, but then not so much once he was actually in the game. Getting the supply drop. Eventually. Oh, down goes Slippy.
You're dead meat.
Where's that supply drop? Come on. I saw the prompt on the screen to push the right C button.
Reward as good as mine. You're not so
Wolf
tough.
still has full health. Yikes. There's actually a time limit with this because there's that bomb that's gonna go off.
You're dead meat, pal.
I don't think your allies actually do any damage to Star Wolf and Company.
That reward as good as
I'm looking at his health bar and it's not doing anything.
mine.
Or maybe it does. I don't think I did that just now.
That's be happening.
Leon would make a decent Smash character. Make it happen, mashed potato samurai. You never get a good shot on these guys.
You're not so tough. Danger. 1 minute to explosion.
I've only got 4 minutes to save the world. Yeah, that was the cringiest thing I said all day. Good God almighty. Never could quite get the hang of this. Hey, he's got full health too. See, one of the techniques is trying to break when people are behind you, but for some reason that wasn't working out for me. Because the enemy would just zoom past you and they'd just take up like the top 3% of the screen. You couldn't really get a good hit in.
30 seconds to explosion.
And then when they're right on top of you like they are right now on the mini-map, there's not a whole lot you can do then either. Just a random thought that I had. Just thinking back to a job I had like 3 years ago. And somebody graffitied a magazine with Sofia Vergara's picture on it, and they like carved the word whore into the cover, and I don't know where I thought of that all of a sudden, but why would somebody do that? Remember, I'm not saying that. That was just something I saw. Well, we screwed this whole thing up. Sorry, everybody.
Looks like we win today, Starbuck.
Even though half my squad died in the process. Guess that's what they call a Pyrrhic victory.
Get out of there!
Oh well, as Luigi would say. Good old Luigi. What do you think Luigi's doing these days? I say as if he's not a fictional character. I don't know why it's such a big deal that this planet had a bomb on it. There didn't seem to be any kind of life, but maybe there was a strategic need. Oh, the lights went down for a second. Hope we don't have a power outage. That would be very unfortunate. I'm on battery power though, so I could still finish out this episode if needed.
I'm not too crazy about those guys.
What else to say about Star
That's
Fox?
Star Wolf.
Yeah, apparently Falco never met Star Wolf until just now. That wasn't really established, but okay. Alright, that was Star Fox 64. Fun for the whole family. I hope I remembered to hit record.